Queen of the demon web pits, I spin thy web of chaos. Mother, I spin it in your name. Let not the thread unravel. Previously on Vyper's journey.
I've no quarrel with you unless you make one.
You make quite the first impression. How about we try words instead of blades,
In this series, I set out to make every single Lostsworn Cleric choice. We'll be doing a deep dive into the lore of the Lostsworn, and I'll be putting my over 3,000 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 experience, my 5 years in Dungeons & Dragons obsession, and my 2 degrees that led me to my love of fantasy to use to serve up all that juicy, juicy lore. The catch? I'm going to try and get you the most quests possible, while also staying as true to my character and her lore. The hardest part? Cleric-specific choices. Our rules are simple. When a choice that's specific to Lostsworn clerics pops up, we pick it. If not, we must pick one of the next best options. Race-specific for Drow or Lostsworn, or class-specific for Cleric. The majority of clerics are good alignment, but Lostsworns, they tend to be neutral or evil. So it's gonna be a challenge. And with that, we're almost ready to start. We just need one more thing to click. You. We need you to click. Please click that subscribe button. This process has already taken over 100 hours, and we're only 2 episodes in, so there goes my sanity. But I really want to be able to do more videos like this, because gaming and writing, they're my passions. And with viewers like you, I can. So go ahead and consensually smash all those buttons harder than I do a start. Do not smite me, YouTube overlords, that I almost said that. And let's begin.
You both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone.
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already. That's our ship.
Roll for intimidation. The only thing you own is your life. Leave before I take that too. I am a daughter of Lolth. I am intimidation incarnate. Timora, why you gonna embarrass me like that?
No! No! You're all hot air. Think you can get us to leave that bounty to you? Not a chance. What are you lot waiting for? Get her!
Look, embarrassed or not, I'm still a drow. We work smarter, not harder.
Be quick. With pleasure.
Remember, smarter, not harder.
Come on, can't stay idle.
You're not versed in magic, are you?
Of course I am. My goddess granted me a great blessing.
Oh, I do apologize. I meant to ask, are you studied in magic? Namely, are you a wizard? Which you are not. If you meet any elder wizards, let me know. There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master.
As a cleric, I'd have a natural connection to my deity, and that would grant me magic. However, as a cleric of Lolth, I'd have an extremely deep connection to the power and magic of my goddess. Typically, the more evil the goddess, the more connected the cleric. As we discussed briefly in episode 1, Lothite communities, those who aren't born of noble blood, have to earn their status in society. Becoming a cleric, well, that's the best way for women to do that. There are male clerics, by the way, they're just incredibly rare. According to faith in pantheons and demi-human deities, Lothite clerics are rulers in their society. They follow Lolth strictly, striving to gain status in their Spider Queen's eyes. And although gifted magic by her goddess, she'd also be well studied in magic and ritual. Her studies wouldn't be the same as a wizard by any stretch of the imagination, but there would be a lot of crossover. So Gale, you're being a dick.
Go to hell.
Also, Gale should consider telling us about his orb right away. To paraquote Drizzt from Homeland, which is a series called the Dark Elf Trilogy, which is about Drow society. To quote, "Ascension to power in Drow society is a simple process of assassination. The true rulers of the Drow world do not look ill favor upon ambitious individuals." So this means that as a cleric of Lolth, I'd actually admire and praise Gale's ambitions, as long as it wasn't my goddess that he was trying to outshine.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
Roll for wisdom. Channel a spark of divine power into the lock.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Roll for religion. Examine the book more closely.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last three names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
If you weren't aware yet, the gods in the scroll are implied to be the dead three: Fall, Bane, and Merfolk. According to Faith and Avatars, the dead three were all power-hungry mortals once. So Gale, he's far from the first to ascend to godhood. It was their goal to achieve godhood together, or die trying. They set their sights on taking the portfolio of Jurgle. Withers. He's likely helping us on our quest, as he has a personal vendetta against the dead three, because Withers is Jurgle. And no, this isn't a random fan theory. It comes from a data mined content, including that his textures files names were Gel-Hum-Jurgle. But lore-wise, let me know if you want a video on that.
Be with you in a moment.
Neat trick.
Not a trick, my friend. Magic. Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of? Spot on. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and graying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on?
Again, Drow, we know about mind flayers, so even if the game still only reserves those special scenes for Dwagar and Gith, we're going to play as if we know about them.
My point is this: our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal.
Can you explain why the symptoms aren't showing?
That, alas, is where my knowledge fails me. A rogue might call it luck, a priest might call it fate. As for myself, I'm a pragmatic. I see the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
I saw you getting a lecture from our magical friend. I have to say, I thought you'd look worse, but no. Not a tentacle to be seen.
I could say the same to you.
Indeed you could. We're all doing surprisingly well, given the circumstances. I'm not taking anything for granted, of course. First sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of yours. I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer.
As a drow, I would have spent my whole life avoiding assassination. I've likely thought about all the ways I could die, but probably not how I'd want to go. Not sure. How would you like to go?
I don't think poison is for me. Nor stabbing, come to think of it. I always felt decapitation was a fine choice. One good swing and then nothing. But we were talking about you. What'll it be?
Vyper? She would like it bloody. Decapitation sounds good. Actually.
A fine choice. Now, to use sword or axe? Or saw? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is all a worst-case scenario, obviously.
Do not use a saw. The little teeth on the saws are going to catch on this in you. Saws are not good for your, as you said, one good swing. Clearly, Astarion, you are not the assassin that you want everyone to think you are.
See you in the morning. Sweet dreams, darling.
Well, Broski Doodle, why you gotta be sneaking off like a cartoon character? Like, the Pink Panther audio should be here.
You think it...
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them. Holy hells. Under elf.
Lay time, I miss her.
If you value your life, walk away.
Demaze.
Come, I miss her. Now.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Say, please.
Never. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
A simple thank you wouldn't go amiss.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
Alright, we travel together. Let's find this...
The party's full. You'll need to make room.
You could take Gale's place.
Keeping your greatest weapon in reserve, eh? An excellent strategy.
Ready for battle. You have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel.
I'll trust your judgment, but I won't trust her. Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
The tieflings are correct in being afraid of us. Lostborn drow are known for being ruthless, and their clerics for making blood sacrifices to Lolth. I chose not to attack them, however, because Lolthites are also very strategic. Their violence is reserved for power plays. Tieflings, well, they offer nothing to Vyper, and would be a waste of energy to indulge in a fight. Vyper might be a raging bitch, but she's not stupid enough to dull her blade on a walking practice dummy. As far as skipping asking what a crush is, a drow would be aware. As discussed in episode 1, mind flayers have been living in the Underdark for a very long time. Despite only Dwagar getting unique seeds with them, drow and deep gnomes would have extensive knowledge about mind flayers themselves. And yes, that would include why they were hiding there, which was to avoid the Gith who had claimed the skies. Vyper would likely have never met a Githyanki, but she would still have been raised and in her studies learned of all the enemies of Lolth. And as mind flayers are an enemy of Lolth, she would have also learned minor things about the Gith. For example, if you talk to Minthara and you ask her what she thinks about your companions, she'll tell you she wants to know about Lae'zel's culture, or at least more of it, as she is aware of some of the heritage's meanings. And Vyper, she would happily accept Lae'zel and her traveling party. Drow know that ancient adage, and they live by it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. For now, at least. I do want to say, I love how in Act 1, there are a lot of unique scenes for Drow specifically. And that's not just dialogue, but also options and entire interactions that are different. As a Drow, you'll feel like you're more an actual true soul in Act 1 because of how you're treated by everyone around you.
Open the bloody gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Please! There's no time!
By the 9 hells! Open the gate! Cannon! No!
Shit! Form a line!
Damnable roach! Provoke the blade! And suffer its sting. That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate! Damn them. There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
As you'll hear many times, the Drow are a people who are at war with themselves. The assassination attempts, literal backstabbing, they start from childhood. Backstabbing, this feels like home.
Pull your claws in, under-elf.
Show some respect. This woman saved your pathetic life.
Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help.
Please, you were begging me to open the gate. Anything to save yourself, you coward!
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
As a woman of law, oh, dare a man speak ill of me. The Spider Queen would require that I smash his face. Aim a blow for the human.
That's... that, I suppose. The goblins have found us. No doubt the beasts will be back. We need to pack up and leave. Immediately!
First I damn near die at the hands of goblins. Then I get sucker punched by a bloody randomer. I'm done with this hellhole.
Aridin, I would count your blessing that all I did was hit you.
You acted quickly. I'm just sorry I didn't get there first. I wouldn't have looked to a drow for help, but I'm grateful all the same. I'm Zevlor.
You have something against drow?
I meant no insult. It's simply that yours are a people at war with themselves. I've never known them to care for outsiders.
Salvatore, I didn't care about an outsider. I followed my queen's doctrine for putting men in their place.
Ooh, jump scare. It's my face. Just so you know, this line feels incredibly icky to say. Not just because of what it means, but also because, although I might come off aggressive, it is in a bratty way, not a mommy minty, she's my dom kind of way, so.
Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve.
Why are they forcing you out?
There have been several attacks by different monsters. The druids blame us outsiders for drawing them here. Nobody's welcome anymore. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
I need a healer.
Goblin got you. The druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other druids in the inner grove. They've withdrawn there to prepare this damn ritual of theirs.
This ritual? Is there nothing you can do?
I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though? I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
Sorry, but I have my own problems.
Turning your back on the needy to save your own skin? Maybe we'll get along after all.
I understand. I can only thank you for the help you've already given. We're raised to fear the drow, but you've earned your place here. I'll make sure everyone here knows that.
Before we long rest, let's have a quick recap on vampire drow. Vampire drow were first introduced in the Complete Monstrous Compendium 2nd edition. Vampire drow are drow who have been blessed with the kiss of Lolth, aka vampirism. Being aligned with one would bring you even closer to Lolth. Vyper would see vampires as being as close to Lolth as they can get and as her betters. She'd do almost anything to achieve the kiss of Lolth herself, including following a vampire's directions, regardless of their gender. To become a vampire would get her in Lolth's heart, without having to turn into a drider like Karnas, which is both a curse and a blessing. She would be aware of vampires, but due to how her religion paints them, she might not be fully aware of a sire bond, which is what makes a newly turned vampire into a spawn. It would be at this moment that Vyper would open herself up to the idea of romancing. And now remember, when I say the word romancing here, I'm censoring out a totally different word that I can't say. With Astarion, to leverage his vampirism for her own gain. Side note, she wouldn't tell him not a drop more than you need. To deny him would be to deny a chosen of the Demon Queen's pit. Of course, Astarion wouldn't know this. He'd just be shocked someone trusted him, which is a categorically stupid thing to do considering a virgin vampire wouldn't be able to stop themselves that easily. My final thought. I know that this scene is meant to mirror spicyality. Again, censoring for my YouTube overlords. But he could have bit our wrist. If you ascend him, it gives you that option. Like, sir, no way. I'm not letting you climb onto me and try and bite me after you tried without my consent. What if I couldn't push you off? I get it, spicy as hell, don't get me wrong. And we all know that I like vampires. But it's not spicy enough for me to want to use a scroll of revivery.
Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear.
No. It's exactly what it looks like, Death here.
I just needed, well, blood.
there in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
How long since you killed someone?
I've never killed anyone. Well, not for food. I feed on animals. Boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. But it's not enough. Not if I have to fight. It feels so weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Why didn't you tell me?
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me.
I do.
Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further? I only need a taste. I swear.
Fine.
Really? Of course. Not one drop more. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
It's like a shard of ice into your neck, a quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
Before we push him back, fun fact, the fading to throbbing numbness is a reference to a vampire ability. Vampires in D&D have their own venom. It releases like an injection would when they bite a creature. It's a neurotic damage. Depending on your DM, you might roll for damage or the DM might roll for damage output. In a small dose, it would cause some minor nerve necrosis, making you not feel any pain. In a large dose, it would kill you. And if after death you were buried, you would have a chance of raising as a spawn. There are multiple things that you can turn into depending on how you're turned. Spawn are not the only option, they're just the most common. Also, studying various mythologies and urban legends for my first degree, I found that there's a lot of variations of vampire lore that involve some form of venom, which, given how snake-like their teeth are, makes perfect sense. In some variations, venom can be used to cause a victim paralysis or stop them from feeling pain. However, more modernly, think the revival of Dracula in 1958, when he appeared as a handsome character for the first time on television. Venom started being considered an aphrodisiac. An example is that in mainstream, like Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. Even I myself have played with that, but like I said, I have a thing for vampires. So let's push him back, because that's the better audio.
That was amazing. My mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy.
I look forward to seeing you fight.
Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling. This is a gift, you know. I won't forget it.
You watch as he stalks off, stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
Next time on Vyper.
You're not going to eviscerate him. I was hoping for a show.
One wrong move and every single animal here will tear you apart.
Unless you're looking for another nibble.
Who better to understand a watchful broodmother than a beloved child of Lolth?
Remembering our time together, the things we've shared. And I don't just mean that lovely neck of yours.